There we go. Perfect. Thanks, dude. Not gonna be able to read chat too good though. Oh, cuz everybody jumping on. Hi, how's it? How's it? I just went live too. Aloha, hey Troy, hey Sandy, how's it? Jamie, yes, we're back at the same spot. Helene, aloha, how's it? I figure how this place may be a little different tonight. And it's already different. Me and Matt had to put together a little bamboo phone stand. Because I forgot mine at home. See, this bug will work. There you go. And here come the bees. All right. It does feel different over here. Hey, Sandy. How's it, guys? Kill them quick. Yeah, for me, it's always interesting how you can go to the exact same place and it'll be different every night. Yeah. Hey, Martha. Matt, how's it? So, like, I could turn around and see where we usually stream from. That's how close we are. I think I have to sit on the ground. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to read chat too good tonight because you guys are all the way down. I'll do my best. What to share about last night? The pictures were on spot. The spirit box was awesome. Hey, Suzette. Hey, Uilani. How's it? The shadows, the vibes were going on over here. Matt, you want to talk a little bit about last night or no?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. See, I'm the one over here surrounded by lights. Matt is over there in the back with no more lights, so. I was actually scared last night, not gonna lie. Hi, Matt. Jamie.
How's it, everybody? Aloha.
Yeah, over here last night was tense, but after that last story, it was all good, huh? That was kind of cool. Right when I said the flowers were in bloom, the picture came up. That was awesome.
Oh, I do believe you captured an orb, though.
Huh?
There was an orb on last night.
On the live?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Somebody commented in the timestamp, or you timestamped it in the comments
Oh,
of last
okay.
night's live.
I didn't see that.
And
That's
I went
cool.
back to look at it, and yeah, I saw it.
Huh. Was it an orb or a bug?
Nah, that one was orb.
That was orb.
Yeah.
Cool. They timestamped them on the video, like after I published it.
Yep.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I'll be able to check that out. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Small Kane's still recovering from the busy day. But yeah. So aloha kupuna. I'm not sure where you folks went last night, but mahalo. You know, we were safe. Nothing followed us home. And everybody else, as far as I know, on the other side, on the live, were safe as well. So yeah. Um, Once again, I'd like to ask your permission to be back here tonight and share more stories. This time it's about Kamapua'a instead of the cannibal dogmen. So a little bit of a lighter subject, but the mana is still there. Yeah. I should have brought the book. Oy. Well, no, tell me. Okay, good. Should have brought the book I read. If I can find it, that is. Yeah. Thank you for all the likes, following, all of that stuff. I'll start off by saying, like every time, we do the lives every night for the month of October, 8 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, telling ghost stories about different subjects. Uh, Theoretically at different places, but kind of hard to drive to the other side of the island when you work all day. You know what I mean? Not impossible, but yeah, not always enjoyable to go over like Makapu and Makaha and that kind of stuff every night when I live Mililani. When I live Kaneohe. See, I need more caffeine now. Yeah, Matt, I was thinking about doing
Yeah.
Wahiwa because I was out there.
Oh.
Oh, that. When we were back at the car.
Mm-hmm. Gonna come from here. So I take her back
Okay.
on. There. So you can see kind of bugs flying around, but this one is different. I mean,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Huh.
you just show them.
Yeah.
So it's, I think it's, yeah, it's 144.
Okay. I'll put this on the ground. Oh, I gotta do one at a time. There you go. On the bottom left, it comes just this little fast orb. Right there. Saw it? And then we'll put them on this one here. On the bottom left over here, you see a little orb. Right there. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
A little bit of orb action over there, yeah. Yeah. I was like, I gotta go back. I was gonna go do one live in Wahiwa. I'm like, nah, I gotta go pick up Matt.
Oh.
And all my equipment too. But yeah, I'm like, no way I go do Wahiwa by myself.
Right. Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get him, go get him.
Yeah. I need somebody to take me away from the Wahiwa lady, bro. Bye, go move over there. Hey, Brad, how's it?
See the county tomorrow morning.
Choke orbs, yeah. Ever did the story about the Limu lady? No, never did the story about the Limu lady. It sounds guaranteed like one mo'o. Say that thinking about the sweet lady of Waihole. I'll show you guys some of the pictures that were coming up last night too, because it was cool. Yeah, turn on the spirit box. And it said Michael, so we started praying to Michael, and we got this gentleman. Followed by that. I love these AI pictures, they're so awesome. And then that. Okay, thanks, Troy. Horse. Cat. I think I was talking about animals on this one. Some guy. That. Barbed wire. That. The Grim Reaper himself. Looked like, I don't know, an old movie. And then this guy that came twice, and just a bunch of random stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was tense last night. Okay, so we will go ahead and begin. We will see. I'm gonna put the ghost tube seer back on, and we'll see what get. And I'm gonna put it back over here where I had it last time. Oh, it's already coming up without noise. Huh? You know, I'm just gonna put them in front of me. Okay, so the subject tonight is a subject that's a little bit more I kind of enjoy because number one, not too many people get stories of this guy, and I have one. And number two, it's interesting that because this guy Kamapua'a, he was a rival of Madame Pele, and I've had more encounters with him than I have had with Madame Pele. So I'm wondering if it's more of a if Kamapua'a shows himself to me more or that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I have a lot more personal encounter stories with Kamapua'a than I do with Madame Pele as well. People share their own stories with me about that. Yeah, I tend to come across a lot of those too. It's really it's kind of interesting. I'll start off with one of the things over here. So one of the things I found interesting was when I took my course at WCC for Hawaiian Legends and Lore. The Kumu told us that throughout Polynesia you have a lot of the same mo'olelo. Throughout Polynesia you got Kane and Tane and Kanaloa and Tanaroa and all of these other gods, and Pele, who's also all around Polynesia, not just Hawaii as well, right? But Hawaii, there's one specific god that there is no other in the whole Polynesia, and that's Kamapua'a. They don't have pig gods anywhere else through Polynesia, from what I was told. Granted, I did not delve through all of the different islands in Polynesia and Melanesia and Micronesia, near legends and lore and that kind of stuff, right? But I thought that was fascinating. So he had us read a book of Kamapua'a, his legends, his tale, his stories, no pun intended, but um, the book was, the left page was in English and the right page was the same thing but in Hawaiian, almost in the form of an oli or like a chant, yeah. Um, the story starts off with the author giving a personal experience. The author was a hunter, and he said that they were hunting back in Ha'ula Laie side one day, hunting for pig, yeah. And as they get back, they're hunting for pigs. Daytime, the dogs, oh, they catch the scent, they go. They start barking, wagging their tails, and they are tracking down this pig that they found, right? So the hunter follows the hunting dogs, and comes across this little clearing where there's a pig that is sleeping, and this pig was enormous. It was easily the largest pig he had ever seen, and this bugger was just sleeping in the middle of the day. The dogs, though, weren't very excited. They wouldn't go close. They kept their distance and they just kind of growled, but they wouldn't go and lunge and do what the dogs are supposed to. And so the guy was thinking, oh, I think there were two of them, that he's going to go ahead and shoot this pig because the dogs wouldn't go, right? And they're going to bring it back and they're going to eat good because this is a large pig. So he starts shooting the pig with his rifle, and the bullets literally bounce off of his skin. And the pig wakes up and starts running away. And they're following the tracks. It's not hard to track a pig of that size, right? Broken branches, broken footprints, all of that kind of stuff. Oh, another picture. Oh, wow. That reminds me of Makapu at night. So they're following him through the forest, and they're following him for a little while through the forest, 15, 20, 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden his tracks disappear. Everything vanishes. His tracks are gone, the broken branches are gone, they can no longer track him. But how does a pig that big disappear? And maybe even a little more telling was it disappeared at the base of a kukui nut tree. Like the tracks just stopped at the base of a kukui nut tree, almost like the pig climbed up the tree, but you can look and he wasn't on top of the tree. It's a little relevant because Kamapua'a is another shapeshifter. He could take on the form of a man, he could take on the form of a pig, or a mixture thereof. He can also take on the form, when he travels in the water, of the Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua'a, or when he's evading his foes, he takes on the form of a kukui nut tree. And so they had known this, the mo'olelos and the legends, and they saw that at the tree, and they decided that it was time to turn around and go. That's how the story of Kamapua'a begins, yeah. Oh, okay, I see. The picture reminded you of that kind of, you talking about Mackenzie's, yeah, Troy. That picture. That could be Mackenzie's too. Interesting. So Kamapua'a was from a place called Kaliuva'a, which we now know today as Sacred Falls. Sacred Falls, why do you think it's called Sacred Falls? This was the home of Kamapua'a and his family. According to the Mo'olelo, or the legend, Kamapua'a was born to a woman named Hina. And somebody of Ali'i descent. It was a little bit of a love triangle because Hina was this beautiful woman. Yeah, her name was Hina. She was this beautiful, gorgeous girl that the king, the Ali'i Nui of Oahu, fell in love with. His name was Olopana. So Olopana was in love with her, but she, instead of Olopana, fell in love with his brother, another kahuna, another Ali'i. And she and him fell in love, and so they were almost banished to the north shore of Oahu to get away from all of that. And of course, the husband was more than happy because Hina was this beautiful woman and all of that stuff. Well, they later gave birth. She gave birth to two children at least. There was one. The first one was a boy. And the second one was Kamapua'a, the shapeshifter. And they went through the whole story of how he was born and how he was like always would play with his brother and all that. But you know, he was born as a pig, but he could also shapeshift into a man and then back into a pig. And he would help his brother by doing all the hard work in the lo'i as they would survive, and all of the, you know, the work that the animals would do, he would go ahead and do that. And the stories come a little bit to show you a little more of his character and his nature when he would get older. One of the stories was simply like he was feeling a little kolohe, a little mischievous, and so one night when the sun went down, he went all around the North Shore and he ate all the chickens. Ooh, hello there. Do you like the Kamapua'a stories? Oh, okay. Oh, that's already more activity than we had last night with the lights. What was that? Huh. It's a little bit of a light that I saw. Interesting. Aloha. How's it? So he would go from village to village on the North Shore, and he would just eat every pig. And of course, the next morning, booga booga. The next morning, the villagers would wake up, the maka'ainana would wake up, and all their chickens would be eaten. And they'd get mad, and they would go over to Olopana and demand him to hunt down whoever did it. And so they hunted down and they looked, but nobody knew who ate the pigs. And the second night, Kamapua'a went down. You see, Olopana lived in Kailua, around there. Kailua, Waimanalo area. So Kamapua'a went on the other side of the island, the other half of the windward side of the island, and ate even more pigs. But this time, he targeted and ate the ali'i's, the chickens, not the pigs. So he ate the ali'i's chickens. And the ali'i got mad. Someone had caught sight of him escaping over towards Chinaman's Hat, right? Mokoli'i, and kind of tried to follow him. So the next day, the warriors came in their canoe and paddled over to Sacred Falls, or that little area, and they hiked back to search for this pig that ate all of these chickens to do it justice, right? I forget which version. I'm getting another version in my head mixed up. But no, when they get over there, Kamapua'a shapeshifts into a pig again. But this time, it's an old pig, white, with age spots, that's barely able to move. So they lay their eyes upon him. And they're like, was this the pig? And it's like, no, this wasn't the pig. He's sickly. He's ill. He's old. There's no way this guy could go around the island. You know, and so they continued looking and continued looking. And that's just the kind of kolohe he was, yeah. He went around the islands and he defeated many gods, many goddesses, and each one he defeated, he inherited their power, he gained their power. Hey, Keith, aloha, good to see you. Phoebe, how's it? So he would gain their power or he would gain their mana, and so it went on for pages and pages in this book about all of the kupua, all of the spirits that Kamapua'a defeated and reached their and achieved their mana. And added their mana to his own. They had names. A lot of the names, he did a lot of this on the west side. what's that? Yeah, on the west side over Waianae, Nanakuli, Makaha, and the names of these spirits were like the ebbing tide that's going back out, or the tide as it comes back in, the tide with the Mauka wind coming behind it, the tide with the Makai wind coming behind it. These were all the names of the spirits that he had defeated. One of the more popular ones was Ku Ilioloa. Ku Ilioloa, or Ku the Long Dog, was a very powerful demigod up on the, well, up by Pokai Bay, I think, right? There's the whole point is actually, interestingly enough, named Kane Ilioloa, Kane the Long Dog. But the legend goes that he fought and fought and fought with this giant dog demigod, and finally he couldn't win. And so what he ended up doing was he let the dog eat him. And as the dog ate him, then he changed his shape into a kukui nut tree, and that's how he defeated Kuilioloa. Well, Kamapua'a was very powerful at this point, and a little cocky, a little sure of himself. He went out, he turned into the Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua'a, and he went out to visit other islands. It was said Kahiki, but I know Kahiki isn't always Tahiti. And he found these two beautiful sisters, these twins, these princesses of Kahiki, and he fell in love with them. And so they fell in love with him too. You see, Kamapua'a was a very, very handsome man when he would turn into a man. This guy was so handsome that women would just faint looking at him. He was a real good looking guy. And so one night, he's lying in the hale with his two wives, the two chiefesses, and in the middle of the night, he sees a light coming from the horizon. And the light, this red light, comes up right up to him and burns him in the eyes. Like it's like magma. This was Pele issuing him a direct challenge. So he took her challenge. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. It looks like seashells and pearls. Sorry. So he accepted Madame Pele's challenge, left his two brides, wives, whatever you would like to call them, and went off to challenge Madame Pele. And so he turns into the Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua, swims all the way to the Big Island, and at the Big Island he calls out and challenges Pele, and he's at the ocean. So Pele throws lava at him, lava boulders and all of that stuff. She sends lava flow after him, and he just simply jumps back into the water, turns into a fish, and swims away. Then he comes back out and taunts her some more, and and this went on and on and on. They were considered to be equals because neither could defeat the other one, right? He went up to the crater and challenged her, but could not defeat her as well. One of the part of the legends I remember is he went up to the crater of Halema'umau and with the challenger, and she sent lava after him as he slid down the volcano and disappeared into the water, once again becoming a fish. Um, if you are under 18, I recommend you mute it for about a few minutes. This is Hawaiian legends, and they're not always PG, but this has always been one of my favorite mo'olelos to tell. Kamapua'a and Pele, after 3 days, had earned each other's respect because they were both equal, they were both powerful, and of course they were both attracted to each other. They had both fallen in love with each other. Oh, this guy. And so they conjugate, right? They meet halfway and they just do what comes naturally. Well, it became an obsession almost, to the point where it was a challenge and neither would stop. And the days and the days and the days rolled by, and Pele was on the verge of death. So the story says. Pele was on the verge of death. Pele was weak. And so one of her sisters, I forget her name, but I did know her name before. One of her sisters had a strange kupua power. Man, what is her name? Capo or something like that. And her kupua power was she could detach her womanly bits and throw them. And so she detached her womanly bits and threw them all the way to Oahu where it landed. To the crater that we now call Kokohead Crater, but the Hawaiian name is Kohe which means flying womanly bits. That's the Hawaiian legend of Kokohead Crater. Kamapua'a, being a man and a pig, follows her flying bits to the island of Oahu, thus allowing Pele to recover and rejuvenate, and they both agree to never see each other again. So Pele lays claim to the dry side of the island, where Kamapua'a lays claim to the windward side, or the wetter side of the island. Yeah. So yeah, you understand why it's not really. This is Hawaiian legends, okay? Throughout the whole book I'm reading, it's not exactly PG and it's not censored. There's a lot of connotations, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. Um, and so Kamapua, to this day, resides where he was born over at Sacred Falls, and the windward side of Oahu belongs to him, whereas the leeward side belongs to Madame Pele. And thus it's said that you can never bring any form of Kamapua'a over to the side of Pele, or you would be breaching their contract, right? So you cannot take pork over the pali. Oh, now you like make one noise, huh? Ah, that's funny. Anybody want to tell me why this is funny? Or how this is relevant? Oh, at the inside Coco Head is a botanical garden. Inside the crater of, yeah. And right outside of the crater is a shooting range. That's why this picture, I laughed when I saw it. So like, yeah, it's kind of relevant, yeah. So yeah, that's the whole pork over the pali. We'll tell a little bit more into that later. I would say, what was that? Okay, that's my keys. I would say next week we're gonna go visit the Pali Lookout. Next week we'll go ahead and do a semi-ghost tour, probably ending on Friday with a walking tour downtown if you guys like. So we'll go to these places, and I'll share some of the stories and some of the things that had happened up there and all that good stuff. Yeah. Jesse, yes, this is much different than last night, isn't it? Much different than last night. Hey, Robin, how's it? How's it? Kapo, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Kapo was Pele's sister. Um, can't visit his mom. No, you can visit his mom. She lives over there in Sacred Falls. Um, I'm not sure. The Mo'olelo never did say what happened to Kamapua'a's parents, but it still said that he roams around and he walks around and he does this and he does that and all of that stuff too. Yeah. Hey, Sean. Yeah, we stayed same place as last night. Exact same place. We decided to see how this place would be different or the same. Polly Lookout, the one with the ghost lady that catches a ride. Yeah, yeah, that was on the film. That was one of the police officer stories. Will you go live when you're doing your walking tour? Yes, so you guys can see me all tired. Pu'u Okapole could be. I don't think that this is the Hina. A lot of beautiful women are called Hina. Yeah. That was the one at the Rainbow Falls too, was Hina under the thing. Hina is also, I believe, in the moon. There's a story, a legend about Hina and Ku, that they were lovers, but Ku was very abusive to her, and so she climbed the rainbow, I think, and moved to the moon where Ku could no longer abuse her. So Pu'u Kapolei, that's one place I like to try check out. Maybe sometime, yeah. Um, okay, back to some of the stories. So there was a night, was kind of cool. Me and Obake Hunter, and at the end, Sereno and Jen. We went to we went to Kualoa Beach Park. Chinaman's Hat, the beach area, right? So we went over there as the sun was going down, kind of thing, and it was still light. We went all the way to the back where the Boy Scout camp is. When you go back over there, you see the during Makahiki time, you see the Lono thing over there. It has the Lono standard, which is ironically a white cross with a kappa on it. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Matt, you good? Yeah. Nah, Matt's just chilling. Yes, Jamie's like, is Matt okay? He's too quiet. Matt doesn't talk all night like I do. So yeah, we went over there to hang out, just talk story because that place used to be a pu'uhonua, right? That whole beach over there, the Kualoa Beach Park used to be a city of refuge back in the old days over there. So if you don't know, a pu'uhonua or city of refuge is a place where you would be safe. You broke a law, you would go over there and you would be safe from any kind of punishment. Oh look, we get the same pictures last night. The lady in the wheelchair. So these are not randomly generated. And so we just hung out outside. I remember sitting on the back of the car talking story, and then a lady came out of the one house over there, and she's like, "Oh, what you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, don't worry, we just telling ghost stories, that's all." And she's like, "Oh, you guys like ghost stories?" I told her, "Yeah, I like the Hawaiian stuff, yeah. I'm Hawaiian, I like to learn about the culture and blah, blah, blah." I told her I did the ghost tours, and she's like, "Oh, you into that? Okay, well, I gotta go run an errand. Why don't you guys come along with me?" We're like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, come, follow me." She went to go driving off in the bush. She explained that every week or so, there are fragments of human bones that wash up to the shore of Kualoa from Kaneohe Bay. Fragments or sections of human bones that are from the ancient days. And she takes the iwi and reburies them in an ahu, in an altar that's hidden away deep in the areas back over there. So she went ahead and we followed her off-roading, we followed her off the trail. She gets to this place where there's a little stone ahu or a stone mound where she reinterrs all of the bones and the bone fragments, right? And so, oh, thank you. Um, and so she's over there talking to us, telling us what this is and all of that. And we're standing under these big trees. The trees were probably 30 to 50 feet high. And I see in my mind's eye something standing under the trees watching us. It's huge. And in my head, it almost looks like a tiki. Oh, we got another picture. I don't know why it's not going ding. It's so weird. Sometimes it does. It's a little wolf. No, that was last night. We need a pig. So it looked like a tiki or a ki'i that was under the trees in my mind's eye, just watching us, just keeping an eye on us. Jen, the psychic, sees me looking around, and she looks at me, and she's looking up at the same place that I'm looking at. She's like, "What? You see him too?" I'm like, "Who do you see?" She's like, "I don't know, but he's huge." I'm like, "He's huge?" She's like, "Yeah, and his face looks like a tiki." Keep in mind, Jen is from the mainland, New York side. She doesn't really know much about that kind of stuff. I'm like, "Oh wow." That was, I believe, an experience with an akua. An akua is a god or a spirit. These akua more or less protected bones. I've had numerous encounters with them. Where they're just watchers. Yeah, they make sure that the sacred areas are safe and protected. So we make our way back to the house, onto the road in the parking lot, and it's getting dark. And me, I stupid, yeah. I'm like, "Oh, I think we need to leave. They're gonna lock the gates pretty soon." And the lady's like, "Please, I have the key. Stay as long as you like." I'm like, "Oh, duh. How come I never thought of that?" So we're hanging out over there. It gets dark, and we continue talking story and telling ghost stories to each other and all of that. And this guy comes down the road on his bicycle. Probably in his 30s, maybe. Um, I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah, he was a local, and he came running down on his bicycle, stopped in front of us, looked at us, and said, "Why am I down here?" And I'm like, first thought was, oh, bro, the Chronic's over here too, bro. Mean, yeah. But he's looking around. He's like, why am I down here? I'm like, I don't know why you're down here. He's like, something told me to come down here. Something told me that I had to be here tonight. And I'm like, okay, what are you? He's like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, oh, we're telling ghost stories. He's like, you're into that? And I'm like, oh yeah, we love ghost stories and we love exploring and that kind of thing. And he's like, aha, that's why I'm here. And we're looking at him like, what? He's like, yeah, I live across the street at Kualoa Ranch. And he's like, he said he works there, and so they allowed him to sleep in his car. He's one of the cooks. So he'd sleep in his car, and he said the place was super haunted, and he wanted someone to come bless it. I'm like, wow, well, I guess you got the right people, bro. We go check them out. So he invited us over. He invited us to the area to check it out. We walked around. He took us to the stage where they host all the tourists, where they have the buffet, where they dance hula and all of that. He told me a really cool story that I'm going to share in a minute because it was shared by me again, yeah, by somebody else. He said that, yeah, and we were by the stage and we were picking up on something at the stage that wasn't very good, almost like a demon kind of thing, a really negative, dark entity. But Jen was like, don't worry about it. He ain't nothing. He just wants to pretend he's big and bad. And we walked all around. It was really cool. We got to the parking lot that he lived in his van, and we noticed that the tree next to him, the way the light was, made the tree look like an old man, and when the wind would blow, it would scowl at him. And like, bro, that was creepy. That's the night we got to walk around the old sugar mill, and this was like 2010, 2011. That old tore down sugar mill. That's the night we got to walk around, and we met the little boy. Yeah, Fruity, how's it? How's it, Polly girl? Hey everybody, aloha. So we met the little boy that died there. That was a story I told a few weeks ago or a couple months ago, as we were sitting outside of it. The old torn down sugar mill. We have another random picture. Real fast question, off topic. You guys want me to post these pictures to YouTube and TikTok afterwards? I can. There's no smoke or fire on the camera. No. Was that this, Troy? The smoke could be cigarette smoke. Don't worry. Matt, you smoking?
Yeah, but my stuff's not going that way.
Yeah, it's not blowing that way. Huh. I don't know. We'll keep an eye open. Faye, how's it? How's it? Yeah, but so we continued on and that kind of stuff, and it was really an interesting one. About a year later, I was looking for a side job just to make more money, and I got one of the side jobs where they have the fake Hawaiian luau, yeah, over there. They offered me to go over there and fold what's it called, the lauhala into the little fish and hand them out to the tourists. And I'm like, bruh, this is such a stupid job. All I did for like an hour, 2 hours was sit down and folded it into a little fish, and I got paid for 1 hour or 2 hours. I'm like, I'm good, thank you. I'm not gonna drive all the way to Kualoa just to do that. But when I was over there, somebody had, recognized me from doing the tours, and so we started talking. And she said that there was an event that happened that night, and actually the guy that had taken us up there had shared the same event with us, right? He said they were they were having the luau, and I call it the fake luau because you get prime rib. No, Hawaiians never had prime rib. So they were over there and they were doing their thing, and the hula dancers were dancing, and they were all eating the little poi out of the little plastic cups, and I guess it's good fun. And then one of the entertainers started chanting, yeah, and he started doing the chant that he had known. This was a new guy that was doing it. He did a Pele chant, and as soon as he told me that, he's like, "Yeah, I have one guy over here." He came over here and he did one Pele chant, and I'm like, "Brah, for real?" He's like, "Yeah, tell me about it." I'm like, dude, that's not good. He's like, yeah, that's what I said. What the heck? He's going into Kamapua'a's home, his side of the island, and summoning Madame Pele, his rival. You don't do that. He said, bro, he was doing the chant. And all of a sudden, mid chant, the wind picked up. The wind picked up real strong, started ripping through everything. Tables being overturned, things falling down, people like plates flying everywhere. He said, trees, the coconut trees, and he pointed. He's like, their coconut trees were torn out of the ground. They flew out of the ground. And I'm like, oh, brah, that's mean. He's like, yeah, but the next day we went to go look at them, and the trees looked like they were dug by tusks, and they were removed from the ground in that fashion, that sense. So yeah, no, don't go to Kamapua'a side and invoke Pele, right? That's no good. The area where the smoke drifted into is where a lot of flying bugs. Yeah, that's where the light is. I prefer the bugs fly there and not here. That's my secret to dealing with mosquitoes. Ben, how's it? I think I said hi again, but hi. Faye, I was in this same exact spot with Obake D and Jojo and saw a round mist-like form and moved with intention. Faye, did you catch last night's live? Last night's live was intense. Just straight up intense. There were things moving around us, and they were new, yeah, and all of this stuff. It was so. I'll tell you about it later. It was crazy. I haven't seen that kind of activity like that before at Judd, probably for a long time. Yeah. The pictures were on point. My God, the spirit box was on point. The lights went off once, I think, yeah. But I think I either heard something or saw something to my right, and then the lights went off from the right to the left, like something had run by them. And then it was in the river on the side. Anyway, yeah. I don't like tell the pork over the pully stories. I'll wait till I do the pully lookout for those stories. Here we go. Yep. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm gonna take a breather. Just a minute. There are 2 stories that I can think of right now that I have left. Any other stories? Probably. Yeah. Um, this was a story that I had heard, and I'll show you a picture at the end of it too. Then the next story I go tell you guys reminded me a lot of last night, to be honest with you. This was an experience we had years ago, and it reminded me a lot of last night. If you guys are new, you'll enjoy it. If you guys are not, you guys have heard it before, I'm sure you'll still enjoy it. And here's a beautiful lady smiling at you. Hi. Psychic. Um, this happened one night where me and Robert Sepulveda were doing the downtown walking tour. Yeah. And we're doing the downtown walking tour. We kind of switched off here and there, told stories. He told stories, I told stories. We had gone over to the Kaka'ako fire station where in that area, the old fire station, and sometimes in the new one, the firefighters get held down and choked in their sleep and that kind of stuff, yeah. You get plenty tea leaf plants around the building, yeah. They've written a book about the experiences that have happened there because of the burial grounds from the illnesses that were brought from the Western world and the Eastern world when they first started coming to Hawaii, yeah? Smallpox, all of that kind of stuff. But so we're walking from over there, we're heading back, and one of our stops back then was Kawai House Cemetery. So, oh, we were Robert was in the lead, he took charge, and I was in the back making sure everybody walked fast enough. I don't know what this is. a lot of the things that go ding, I have no idea what it is. It's just random pictures. And so Robert's in the lead. I think our group was about 25 to 30 people. And so I'm over there in the back trying to make the people hurry up because, yeah, 30 people can spread out pretty darn far on a sidewalk in a single file line. And so I'm pushing up the rear, making everybody go inside the graveyard where Robert's waiting to tell stories. And across the street, over at the that building across the street, which is, I think it's an old folks home now, Honuakaha. What's that, brother?
Oh no, I'm burped. I said
Okay, okay.
Sorry.
Honuakaha, I think it's called. That place has ghost stories too. In the back of it, there's a little ahu for the burial mound from all the bones that they had dug up when they had built that. And Honuakaha used to also be the hospital for, I cannot remember the disease. I want to say smallpox. I could be wrong, but that used to be the hospital for that in the 1800s. And so either way, we're over there walking through, I'm just shuttling people through into the graveyard, and then get one guy comes out across the street, starts yelling at us. Oh, how's it? This guy starts yelling at us, this old Hawaiian man. I think he was a little drunk, but he just starts yelling at us. He's like, "Away, what you guys doing over there, huh? Shame on you, disturbing the spirits. What's the matter with you guys, huh? Away, you better watch out, Bombada ghosts come follow you home, huh?" He was doing like that, and, I understand completely, Yeah, I'm catching some paranormal things. I'm not out looking for evidence, but I hope the spirits enjoy the stories as much as you guys do. Um, I understand this guy's thoughts. I would probably think the same thing if I see one tour group walking through a cemetery. I decided to cross the street, talk story with Uncle, I'm like, "Hey, Uncle, aloha. My name is Joe. I work for the tours as well. I understand your concern. Would you like to come and see what we do?" kind of thing. He's like, "No, you guys are doing this, you guys are doing that." And I'm like, "Uncle, we come over here, we share stories, not just for the people, but for the spirits as well. And we try our best to pay as much respect as we can for the spirits. We teach people how to be pono, how to respect. When you walk into a cemetery, everybody got to be quiet, no touch. There's a time when we say take pictures, but if that's not the time, no take pictures." And so I was telling him how we operate. We're local people that run the tour. We try to operate with the most respect that we possibly can, while still using these areas as to their history and all of that stuff too. And you're walking through an old graveyard that dates back over 100 years, so of course, this is an interesting place to go. A great backdrop is how I put it for storytelling. And he's like, "Oh, okay, I see what you guys doing. That's okay then." It's like, "Oh, sorry, I never mean that, And then I shared a story with him, just a real fast story, and then he wanted to share one with me. And so the story that he shared with me, wow, these lights are cool tonight, man. I don't know what's going on. Can you make it next time go yellow or red instead of the blue? But thank you, That's awesome. Um, and so the story he shared with us, or me rather, because I was the only one that heard it, was I could tell he dug in deep, and it was like the kind of story, he never tell many people. Yeah, it wasn't very scary as much as it was disturbing. So he asked me one simple question to start the story off. He's like, "Boy, you remember Kaliuva'a?" Back then I never know what it was. In fact, this is the reason why I know what Kaliuva'a is. Kaliuva'a is Sacred Falls. I'm like, "What is that, Kaliuva'a?" He's like, he looked at me, he's like, "You don't know Kaliuva'a? You Hawaiian?" I'm like, "I never heard of that before." He's like, "Sacred Falls, you guys call them. Sacred Falls. You remember Sacred Falls?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. They wouldn't close them off, yeah, 99. He's like, "Yeah, they wouldn't close them off. And it's never going to be opened again. You watch." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." 1999 Mother's Day, there was a landslide that killed several people and injured a lot more. It was a tragedy that was in the papers and all of that, and everybody went back there to have a little hike, a little picnic, and unfortunately there was a large landslide that, yeah, as I said, took the life of several people and injured a lot more. He asked me, "Well, boy, you remember 1999?" I'm like, "I know what you're talking about, Uncle. I remember the landslide." He's like, "Yeah, yeah, me too." He's like, "You see, I was there. Not when the landslide happened, but when it happened, they called me." He's like, "I know the place good because I know that place like the back of my hand." He said, "They would call me to look for the bodies. They would call me to rescue the people that needed rescuing." Some of the things that he told me a lot of things, but I'll just tell you as an example. He would go up to the top of the ridge looking down at Kaliuva'a, looking down into that little ravine, the little valley-like area where the Sacred Falls is and the river goes through. And he said he could see the landslide and he saw a hand sticking out of the dirt. And when they went over there and investigated, it was just a hand and just the arm up to the elbow. Connecting. I'm live. Let's
Yeah.
see if. Let me know. I just reconnected. I'm sorry. Wow, that sucks. Nothing yet, dude?
Nope. There we go.
Alright, there we go. We're back.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. But for YouTube, here's the picture again. I'm not sure what you guys heard or where the video stopped. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. What was the last thing I said on YouTube before I was cut off?
What about the hand in the screen?
Huh?
What about the hand in the screen?
The hand in the screen?
You know, the picture of the hand when the hand came out. Or...
No?
No. That's the words you said.
Hand in the screen?
The part of your story. That was in your story. Talking
Oh.
about a hand appearing there. That was kind of
Oh.
like, yeah.
The hand sticking out of the. Yeah.
That's where it got cut off.
The hand sticking out of the landslide. Okay, hold on, guys. I will go back to this one, and then I will go share my other last story. Sorry, I got cut off, and I'm a dad. I love to repeat myself. It's in my nature. So the story is okay. Let me get back into the mindset over here. You guys gotta go. Oh, deja vu on TikTok. So the Hawaiian man said he was looking. He was over there to look, and he looked down, and he saw a lot of disturbing stuff, like the hand sticking out of the rubble, or the landslide, and all of that. But he said what happened was the most disturbing thing he had seen all night, all day, was pig tracks. And I'm like, pig tracks? What you mean pig tracks? He's like, had pig tracks. In the area where the landslide happened, had plenty pig tracks, had plenty pigs over there. He's like, and I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? He's like, brah, was the pigs. The pigs would cause the landslide. And I'm thinking like, I know what he's getting at. That's Kamapua'a's place. I'm like, no, cannot be the pigs. You know what I mean? What the heck? Not Kamapua'a. He's not bad. He's not evil. He's not malevolent. And so he's like, no, boy. I told you. The I told you. The pigs. I never told you it was Kamapua'a. Was the pigs. The pigs was taking back what was theirs. And I'm like, why? He said, he's like, cuz, what is this place called? Sacred, yeah? Sacred Falls. Sacred Falls, this whole area over here, sacred, yeah? He's like, not sacred anymore. They come up over here. They litter. They throw their rubbish in the bush. They graffiti the rocks. They carve their names on top of the trees. And the worst is when they swim in the waters, and the waters heal them and cool them down. How do they repay the favor? They go shishi in the water. They desecrate the land. They desecrate the place. They just desecrate everything. So the pigs caused a landslide, and now look, the thing is closed. No one can come back again. Nobody's gonna come back. The park is never gonna reopen. Bro, this guy taunting me. Look at this picture over here. It's like, ha ha, what a troll. And so that was the story of the old man, that he claims that the pigs took it back to Sacred Falls. The picture I shared was a picture that was in a newspaper. I think it was Haleiwa Times or something like that. That people were disturbed on. People were disturbed at this picture where they had it in circulation until noon, and then they withdrew everything and reprinted the front page. And here's the picture for like the 5th time. This was on the front of the paper. Nobody saw it. I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's Kamapua'a. I don't know if that's just another spirit that's angry. There we go. But yeah, that's an amazing picture. Yeah. Pono, aloha. How's it? All right, we're caught up now.
Troy sent me a picture of the smoke that everybody's talking about in the chat.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle, see it? Just
Yeah.
above the light. You want to show them?
What is this though? More smoke here? Maybe that was my cigarette. When I read it in the chat, I wasn't. Yeah, I never smoked.
Yeah.
Here.
I'll go back and video clip it. Troy said the thing went by like 2 or 3 times, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, no need to see Matt's texts.
Yeah.
Here's the mist that came by. But what I don't understand is the mists didn't trigger the devices. Maybe they're a different kind of energy, not EMF. Interesting. Hey, aloha from Kauai. How's it? When I go back, I was never there to begin with. I've never been there. Hey, aloha from, oh wow, Fiona in Oxford, UK. Well, aloha from Joe in Hawaii. And Matt. We get one axe murderer now. That story's from New Orleans, actually. We stay at the axe murderer hotel, yeah. But anyway, here's an interesting one that came up to my mind. Do I want to share this story now or later? I think I'll share the story tonight. It's a good story. Yeah. I know, out of better now, yeah? YouTube is better on focus now, I think, yeah. I did see it was out of focus because I keep putting pictures in front of you guys. I would love to go to Sacred Falls. Is this the same picture as last night? This is the same picture as last night. Let me see. Yep. Interesting. Oh wait, no. What? Look at this, Matt. This picture came up, right? Look, it's not showing that it came up. It's showing that it came up last night, twice. But it's literally up right now, and it's not showing. These are the newest, second newest.
Can you scroll down to it though?
Bruh.
To the picture. Let's say today though.
Yeah. This is, but all even last night was today.
Oh, gotcha.
See?
It's
kind of weird, yeah. It just kind of, this thing glitched as well. I've never seen that glitch before.
Yeah, I see what you're saying though. It should have been up there in the top left corner, yeah?
Yeah. It was beautiful, and there was a sense of beauty and tranquility. Yeah. See, I've seen pictures and videos of babooses who decide to go there illegally. You know, it just kind of upsets me how I play by the rules, but I cannot go up over there, you know. Because if I were to go up over there, I'd get in trouble. Oh, motorcycle gang tonight. Alright, so this This next story actually kind of starts off with a painting. Not really quite a, well, a painting is a part of this, right? So actually, this story isn't even relevant to Kamapua'a. It is in a little way. I did find a picture of him online. I don't know if you guys like see him, but there was a picture that this guy had painted of Kamapua'a, and the picture has a gift. So I'll show it, but I'm not gonna. But I will give you guys a warning. If you don't want to get pregnant, maybe you don't want to look, because whoever gets this picture sent to them ends up pregnant. Like, yeah, put it that way. Like everybody who has had this picture mailed or emailed to them or anything has ended up pregnant. Kamapua'a is like fertility. This guy was so handsome, he would get all the girls pregnant, kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, 98, nice. Right before, yeah. So here's the picture. I warned you. And I bring this picture up because the same artist had painted another picture at a certain camp that we went to go. Originally, we went to go enjoy stories at. We're gonna go camp out at this haunted camp. And that turned into, of course, Guy talking story with the guy who ran the camp, and the guy telling us all his ghost stories and taking us out and around and showing us all the places and asking us if we wanted to investigate. And just you gotta have one guy in every group. Yeah, Guy is awesome. He'll talk to anybody about anything. And he'll end up making best friends with the people. Yeah. No worries, Sean. When you see him, he looks nothing like that. I know, but so they had a excuse me. So they had a painting in one of the rooms, and so we investigated the basement of that room, which was a cellar. Um, this place was haunted by several different things. I'm not gonna say the camp name just because they're a good camp, and I don't want people to think, you know what I mean? Oh, scary! Your camp is haunted. That guy Joe, and I'll never be welcome to go back again. Um, so many people had died in that from accidents. I'll say that because if I say too much, it'll give it away. There's also a mass burial site for children that I was told was pre-contact, which means that before Captain Cook came, they had a mass grave for children. Well, that building was built, the main rec center was built directly over that mass burial grave, right? With the bones of all the children. Um, on the top level, in the main level, there's a picture of a fetus. Let me see if I can find the picture. I don't think I've ever showed this picture before, but it was the same artist, and the picture was said to be like magical. Right here. It always reminded me of a fetus. I don't know why. I'm gonna try to save them first. Yeah. Brah, save 2 photos. And when I found out that the guy who painted that was the same one that painted that picture, it was kind of like, whoa. So here's the picture. Here's the little mural. But you see how it looks like there's a little fetus, right? That's kind of what I took to be a little bit of a fetus, and it was interesting that it was over the grave of a mass burial site for children and small children. Anyway, we went there, the first time we went there to investigate, or just to tell stories, we ended up doing a small kind of investigation. So we went into the basement, and in the basement they had, ooh, I wonder if I have that picture. Yeah, I think I have that picture. In the basement, they had their canoes, their kayaks, life vests. The bottom of the basement was sand. And so we did a little investigation, checked that place out, and all of that. One of the pictures that came from that investigation was this. So we found out that there was actually like a demon over there. And one of the guys that died in an accident. Now, here, I will give you this as well. All right. This picture looks freaking awesome, right? But if I remember correctly, so I showed this picture to Guy, like, Guy, you remember that? The guy's in the background over there. I'm like, Guy, you remember that? He's like, yeah. Wasn't that like a jacket or something hanging from the ceiling? So, Guy remembered it differently, but he remembers the picture. It may have been something on the ceiling, like a jacket or a garbage bag, but it looks cool either way. Um, we were over there, we were talking, we were doing our investigation, seeing what would happen, because what came through was that the children that haunt that place are actually the ones that are protecting the campers and protecting the people from the big bad demon. The big bad demon, similar to my Doug stories a week ago, enlisted a guy that died to do his bidding, right? And so we were over there, and like one of my friends, Malia. Well, okay, first of all, one of my friends, Mike, he was standing, leaning up against the kayaks, leaning up against the ones that are hanging off the ceiling. It just kind of quiet, stoic, like he usually is, not saying anything, just observing. And I look at him, and he starts wavering back and forth, like he's unsteady on his feet. And I go up to him like, "Bro, you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay," but his voice sounded like he was choked up, and I'm like, "You good?" He's like, he was like, "Yeah, but for some reason, I, I miss my brother. I can't get my brother out of my head." And I'm like, "Your brother? You have a brother?" He's like, "My brother died when he was very young." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "I don't know why I'm missing him. He died when he was a baby." He said I think he said his brother died before he was even born, so they had never met. But for some reason, he couldn't stop thinking about him and missing him. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what the hell is going on. And so he starts to get, something comes over him, and I decide it's time to peace out. So I take him outside. Everybody else stays inside. I give him that pohaku, the rock that I had gotten from that house blessing in Hawaii Kai, the guardian, and I give him the rock. And I'm sitting over there, and I hand him the rock, and he's just trying to squeeze this rock. It's a little a medicine pounder, like a mortar and pestle, and he's squeezing it. And he's sitting down, and he's coming back to himself by sitting down outside of there with the rock in his hand. And then I'm trying to talk him back down, bring him back, use my voice to bring him back to us and into the here and now. And then the door opens up again, and I hear, "Joe, you're needed." And I'm like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Malia is possessed." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what the hell?" I go inside there. Malia is sitting on a bed, and she's talking in a little girl's voice, this high-pitched girl's voice, telling us we need to leave, we need to get out. In this little girl's voice, she's like, "Leave, you need to get out, he's coming, you need to leave, you need to leave." And like, we're like, "Malia, you okay? You okay?" "No, you guys need to get out." And she wouldn't get out. And so we ended up picking her up and carrying her out. And as soon as she came out of the door, she was like back to herself, speaking regular. "What are you guys doing? Put me down. What's wrong with you guys? How did I come outside? What the hell's going on?" I gave her a little crystal I had that was like the twin of the rock. And she held on to that, and she came back to herself and got re-energized and all of that stuff too. And I'm like, "What the hell's going on tonight?" Um, it was intense. We had gotten rid, I forget how we did this, but we had dealt with one of them. The one of them came out. That guy came out. The one that would harass them came out. And that would harass the kids and all of that stuff. And the demon supposedly came out, but it wasn't the demon. And I just kept getting the feeling, like my friend, like we're all like, okay, it's done, it's over. We went to sleep. I went to sleep. We got the room, me and Guy, where the guy would die inside the room, right? He would fall right through the ceiling and would make. So we stayed in that night, and the fan turned off, the lights turned off. It was just everything was going on. It was really strange. And he's like, nah, 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 it's done, it's done. Next day they used a spirit box after I had left, and the voice that came through the spirit box went through Guy's body. He said, and I remember the words that came out of my mouth when he said, "We're done. Whatever it was is done. It's gone." I'm like, yeah, but that was just its thrall. That wasn't the big bad one. We gotta come back now. We gotta come back and we gotta deal with the big bad one. So about a month later, we went back to go camping, and this time we had a plan. We had an investigation plan. We got permission, all of that stuff. My friend, she would catch the feral cats over there for neuter and spade and all of that stuff. So yeah, um, they showed us where they reburied all of the EV, all of the bones, yeah, for the children. It was just in this little rock mound. It had nothing on it. People would come up and play on it. They'd put their beer on it, that kind of stuff. And it's like, so we had a sign put up, said "Kapu," keep away kind of thing. So nobody would play on it. That was because of my group Hawaiian huntings. Just we do good sometimes too. So we went back, and our plan was real simple. The demon, the big bad demon, is still here, and we are gonna get rid of it. But how are we gonna get rid of it? Easy. We're gonna trick it. It's been known to pretend that it's a little girl. And so our plan was simple. We're going to bait it. If you can get them to manifest, you can bind them, capture them, whatever the hell. For me, it's not so much as I do this stuff, but it's more of my guardians and my guides. If I can trick them into manifesting, then my guardians and my guides, what Doug would call his guides too, what he called the police force, is a bunch of spirits and interdimensionals that would come and find these bad things and drag them off to where they belong, right? He's like, all you got to do is smoke them out of hiding, Joe. And I'm like, all right, that's what we're trying to do. So the first thing we did was we blessed the entire camp from one end to the other. Every cabin, every bathroom, every window, everything from the outside, right? We walked around with the tea leaf, Hawaiian salt, holy water. I think my friend had sage, and we went around the whole camp for about an hour. Basically, we had blocked every building. The last building with the basement, we did the top, we did everything around there, we did all the windows for the basement, but we did everything but the front door. This thing needed an exit, right? And so we went in, and for the next 4 hours or so, 5 hours, we were trying to trick it. Trying to make it commit, pretending that we didn't know that it was really a demon, and asking, is there a little girl here? Do you need help? I'll tell you, these things are not stupid, okay? These things are not stupid at all. He wasn't falling for it. Or it, or whatever you want to call it, was not falling for it. I thought I was clever. Yeah, no, these things are older than me, so, and that's pretty damn old. No, I'm just kidding. The crystal was selenite, Mrs. H. Sorry. I got it in Maine. It was really strange. It was a strange bunch of coincidences. Um, I think it was about 2 or 3 in the morning and nothing was happening. And so we were getting a little tired. Maybe it wasn't that late. Maybe it was about 1 o'clock or so, but we're getting tired already. And so, yeah, hey, don't worry, Pono. We decided to call it. We had a bunch of us with us, and so one of my friends had the new Ovilus like 3.0 or something like that, right? Where it doesn't just say the Ovilus machine. Oh, how's it? The Ovilus machine would say like just random words. That's what it does. It's a random word generator, right? And so it'll say like just like this, like Australia, red, bacon, like in a robotic voice. But we decided to gather around in a circle and pray. And so we're in the basement. We gather around in a circle and we start praying. the Our Father. My friend, she puts her Ovilus 3 in the middle of us. And we start off, Our Father, who art in heaven. We're about halfway through it. The spirit box, for the first time all night, spoke up and said a word. But it didn't just say any word. The way it said the word, it said scared. But it said it like this. No, it said, yeah, it said scared. And we all like eyes popped up and we're all looking at each other while we continue to pray. And when we're done with the Our Father, we continue the Our Father again. We say it 3 times. And each time I've been taught to draw strength from it each time, to be brave and to think of its meaning. And and at the 3rd time when we said it, something ran out of the room. It knocked off a whole bunch of the life vests that were hanging on the top on its way out. Straight between us and the door were the life vests. All of a sudden the life vest flew off like something had knocked it off. And my friend Kayla had a backpack, and in her backpack there was a big bottle of water on the side in that little mesh thing. That thing popped right out and it flew. So this thing ran straight for the door and tried to get out of there. That was like, we looked at each other, we're like, oh, that was so cool. The next morning we found out that the manager's office locked. The electronic door locks all started malfunctioning. So as soon as the thing left, we blessed the door to go back into the basement. So this thing literally had nowhere to hide in the entire camp. It couldn't hide anywhere because we had blessed everything, yeah. The door to the manager's office locked, and it was a bolt lock that was not electronic and it locked from the inside. You know, I felt really bad because this was the big bad demon. This was the one that was forcing the other guy to do his bidding, getting his hands dirty, not the big bad demon. The big bad demon's sitting back with his hands nice and clean, right? He didn't have to commit to anything. He could feed and let this other guy get busted. Hello there. What a handsome bugger. And so, yeah, that was that story. I called up Doug later. Actually, Doug called me. No, I called up Doug. Yeah, I called up Doug because I wanted to talk to him about what we did. He didn't know what we were doing. He's in Illinois. I'm like, Doug, I need your advice. He's like, oh, Joe, I'm glad you called me. I'm like, what's up? He's like, so the police force talked to me the other day and they told me to tell you thank you. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah. He's like, apparently you set this spirit out. You smoked him out of hiding. I'm like, how'd you know that? He's like, the police force told me. He said that they've been looking for that one for a long time, and they caught him. My concern was that this guy is now free, and he's going to cause he's going to cause chaos in the neighbors' houses now, right? And in the area, and it's going to go unchecked. No, they caught him and they dealt with him. He told me, don't worry about it. They caught him and they took care of him. Yeah, you gotta remember these. I'm reading your comment, Trey. It said that the guy who died was trapped. He chose when he died to serve this thing. Of course, lies, yeah, because all these things are lies. They're just a bunch of these evil spirits. They're known to lie. All of that stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm missing any of the comments over here, but I can't see too much because it's a little further away. Okay, last story I'm going to share for the night is one of my favorite stories to tell. I think I told him a couple weeks ago too. This one is about Kamapua'a. See, that story had nothing to do with Kamapua'a, but I enjoy telling that story too, yeah. It had to do with that painting. The same guy that painted the Kamapua'a painting did that. I should go back and see what's going on over there, if anything. But yeah, so this next story and the last story is one of my favorite ones. This was my own personal experience, encounter with him. And I'm not talking about we go ulupo heyao and in the kukuina tree there's a oink and you smell pig and there's nobody there. That's happened a few times. And someone slaps a picture once and there's a pig in the form of a mist under the kukuina tree. That was kind of cool too. That would happen on the tour when I would do it. Ulupo heyao is also a place that he went to visit, yeah? Some of his legends and stories, they mention Ulupo. So I've always attributed that to him. I was sorry, getting sidetracked. I used to go to Ulupo to tell stories of Kamapua'a just in case he was there. So yes, he would show up, and I think that's how he kind of met me and found out who I was because I tell stories about him, and he loved to listen to him. This story was me, Obake Hunter, Jennifer, and Sereno. See, when I was done with the tour, I'd pick them up and we go cruising around all night looking for haunted places, looking for ghosts, whatever. So we drove around the island down South Shore. We looked at a bunch of different places. We went back roads in Waimanalo, had a bunch of different things happen to us. Um, then we ended over at this place called 13 Turns. Maunawili, that old road by Castle Junction into Maunawili. It's more than 13 turns, but we just called it that because it sounded more intimidating and cool, right? So I went there when I was a high schooler or right out of high school. We used to go over there and just be stupid, go ghost hunting. Um, I remember one time I would spray the fire hydrant purple and pink and black, like black with pink polka dots or pink with black polka dots, something like that. Just stupid high school stuff. Um, so I thought, hey, let's check this place out. Let's see what's going on. And so we went back there, pulled onto the side of the road, and Obake and Sereno, they go out and start taking pictures, looking for orbs with their cameras. And I get out, and I'm like, just feeling the area, and I feel something very different, very foreign, like last night. And I'm trying to focus in on it, trying to concentrate on it. I notice Jennifer, the psychic, is not coming out of the car. And so I'm looking around, and the words that jump into my head were primordial, hunter. Like, the image was like animal, like a beast, like a hunter that's older than mankind, this kind of thing. A spirit animal, not intelligent like a human as much, but very, very ancient, very, very good at what it does. It stalks its prey, it hunts its prey, that kind of stuff. I almost pictured like a little dog panther hybrid kind of thing, but black. Maybe I should make a little picture of what I saw with the AI. That would be kind of cool. So I feel that, and I'll be honest, it was terrifying because it was stalking us, or it was stalking me. It was in the bushes, and it was watching. And so I opened up the car door, and I'm like, Jen, what, there's something here, isn't there? She's like, yeah, there's something here. That's why I'm in the car right now. Then I'm like, okay. She's like, I'm like, can you tell me what this thing is? And then she uses the same word. She's like, this thing is a primordial hunter, older than mankind. And I'm like, oh, brah. The same thing I was seeing, she was seeing. And I'm like, wow. Now you see, we had a guardian that night that was with us, and we'd be cruising around, we'd be driving around, and we have this Hawaiian warrior named Kainoa with us in the car. Okay, he's a guardian, he died on the Pali. And she'd be cracking jokes, all right, telling us what Kainoa was saying. And this is a girl from New York. She hadn't been down here very long. She doesn't know anything. And she's speaking Hawaiian words. And I'm like, brah, this was nuts. You know what I mean? She's like over there and like describing the Kainoa was just like a really fun, joking around kind of warrior, right? And he was our guardian. And so we she said this thing is dangerous, and I'm like, okay. Well, where's good thing we have Kainoa, right? She's like, about that, he left. And I'm like, what? He left? She's like, yeah, he had to get his friends. So two things. This thing was older than him. So he had to get permission to fight it, to protect us. And second, he had to get his friends to come and help because this thing was powerful. Bro, that's not one of the most Hawaiian things I heard, bro. Oh, I go get my boys. You wait over here. I go get my boys, huh? So he's over there grabbing his boys to come over here and scrap and fight this thing over here, right? And I decide to go to the back. I'm like, okay, I can be brave. I can be good. I can feel this thing. And it was not good. It was kind of what it was a little bit like last night. That's kind of the impression that I got. It felt more very similar to that. I go to the back. I'm acting brave because I'm the protector, right? I cannot be scared. So I jump onto the back of my car to sit on the trunk, and all of a sudden, from the bushes onto my right, which by the way is a cliff, yeah? It is a cliff, a drop off to the right. I hear something running towards me up on the cliff, and my stomach jumps into my throat, and I'm like, nope, F this. And I jump back in the car, and I'm like, bro, what's going on? She's like, oh yeah, he's here, isn't he? And I'm sitting in the car with Jen, and she's like, oh no, what the hell? And I'm like, what? She's looking forward. This thing is behind us, but she's looking forward to where the road and banks off to the right. She's like, there's somebody else here, Joe. And I'm like, is that a good thing? She's like, I don't know. This is an animal too. And I'm like, this is an animal. She's like, it's a pig. And then she's looking and she's like, no, it's a man with a pig's head. And I'm thinking, oh, this is awesome. I'm like, so it's like a man wearing a pig's head as a mask? And she's like, no. I can see the bristles moving. I can see the nose moving when it's breathing in the nose. This is a man with an actual pig's head on it. She's like, Joe, what the hell is this? You know? And I'm smiling now. I'm like, oh, that is cool. I'm like, that's Kamapua'a. What's a Kamapua'a? I'm like, that's one of the demigods on the windward side over here. She's like, oh. Well, he's protecting us because that thing turned around and ran as soon as it saw him. Baby Kainoa went to grab Kamapua'a. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. And so I went back outside and it was calm and it was quiet. And I'm like, oh. But either way, I called Obaki and Sereno back. I'm like, guys, we're going to go down the road. We're going to go 7-Eleven. We told them everything that happened while they were out taking pictures and stuff. And I'm like, bro, that's so cool. So we go 7-Eleven. We grab our Arizona green teas. We enjoy getting a little more caffeine. And then we're like, all right, what are we going to do now? And me and Obaki are like, what? We should go back 13 turns. I'm like, yeah, we should go back 13 turns. We go. Like, yeah, let's go. So we jump into the car and we turn in the Mount Willie turn in, right? Like right before Kamapua'a Quarry Road. We take a left and take the little back roads by all the houses and stuff. Oh, hey, beautiful. Who's this guy over here? Sorry. If I get to enjoy this, you guys get to enjoy this. And so we're driving down the back roads and trying. Bruh, look at this. This thing just changed. Oh, what the hell is going on, bruh? I have never seen that in my life before. What the hell is going on? Bruh, you saw that? The pictures wouldn't move. I don't know if that's a new thing. I have never seen the pictures move. Can I replicate that? If I click on it? It's not even here, bruh.
Again?
That's not even here. Oh, way to take my punchline, huh? It's not anywhere. I'm glad I got that on camera. So here's some other pictures that came up, but look, this is the history of the pictures. I'll do it on YouTube first. I didn't see these other pictures when they came up. It's not even there. Oh, what the hell? Oh, had the little heart thing on top of the guy's head. That's funny. Wow. So wait, I'm not done with the story yet. This guy would steal my thunder. Oh man. We're driving back up the street, right? We're driving up that little road. We get little houses and stuff in between. We're going this is Auloa Road by 13 turns. So we're driving back up over there. And then all of a sudden, this giant white pig appears in the middle of the road in front of my car. Just, the bugger is cruising. He's not running. He's not in a rush. He's not standing still. He's just sauntering and walking. I slam on my brakes, okay? This was a pig that was about bigger than my bumper, and it was a Ford Taurus at the time. And I slam on the brakes, and Obaki was in the front seat. It's like, what is that? And I'm like, you saw that too. We came to a complete stop in the middle of the road. We're sitting there. We went right through the pig. The pig wouldn't disappear. I'm like, what did you see? He's like, I saw this giant white pig right in front of us. I'm like, brah, me too. He's like, where did it go? The thing disappeared. And I'm like, yeah, I think we should just keep driving. Maybe we should have stopped off over there, yeah. I think that Kamapua'a just likes to have fun every now and then. Brah, I'm still kind of shaken up from that. I've never seen a picture move and that, brah, why did it have to be so damn creepy? Oh, man. So I looked at it and I saw the light change to white. And then I'm like, what the hell? The eyes changed. And then that guy, brah. I'm going to have to look that up after. What is this? Oh, I did something. I don't know what I did. There you go. But anyway, yeah. Oh, thank you for the boxing gloves. Let's see. Ooh, no. I like to see all of that. But yeah, those are the stories I have for you guys for tonight involving Kamapua'a. I gotta go back and see that one thing because that thing was just, yeah, I never liked that one too much. This thing is acting up. I've never had this app act up before. And tonight's the first. But it wasn't just that one, yeah. Ooh. I go flip the camera around and tell you guys a proper goodbye. Uh, there we go. Much better. Hey, sweet savage. Wee pow. What's that mean when you sleep and the guys look at me? But what's it mean when you sleep and the guys look at me? I'm not too sure. Check out the YouTube side. I don't know how to get the replays on the TikTok side, but yeah, we're just winding up for tonight. It's 9:30. And that picture was creepy. I'm gonna see if I can find it again and post that. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the story, and I hope you guys enjoyed this beautiful zombie ballet dancer. Watch her move, brah. No move, brah, for real. That is. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But see, look, it pops up, yeah. That other one I had did not pop up. Fuck. Good lord. So let's do a little bit of protocol. Mahalo, spirits. Thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. Thank you for being cool with us tonight and not, yeah, having a repeat of last night. Thank you for watching over us and making this a nice little area to do this. Yeah. Thank you for the company and thank you for everything. Yeah. Lord, thank you for everything that you have blessed us with. Thank you for all of the blessings that you continue to give us. And thank you again for everything. Guys, thank you guys very much for tuning in as well. You guys are awesome. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Yeah. Different subject. We'll figure it out. I don't know yet. But yeah. Take care. Aloha. Whispers. You hear anything, Matt? Okay. We will check the ending of the video. Thanks, Brad. I didn't hear any whispers, but you hear that, bro? Yeah, I'm down. You're probably right. Looking at you, I'm not sure what you said. I'm quick. Yeah, sorry. I got not gonna do the 20-minute goodbyes. But yeah, he is awesome. Take care. Aloha.